answer to that. In the first week of June, right before all this began, the president's approval rating, according to the Real Clear Politics average, was 42%. His disapproval rating was 54%. That's a spread of 12 points. After a full month of all the cable news morons calling him Hitler, Trump's approval rating rose to 43%. That's one of the highest of his presidency. And his disapproval dropped to 52%. That's a spread of 9 points, an improvement over the beginning of the month. But here's the remarkable part. In the Harvard-Harris poll, the president's approval rating rose 10 points among Hispanic voters. Keep in mind, this is over the exact same period when every single person with a master's degree in the continental United States was telling you that Trump hates Hispanics. And yet his number among Hispanic voters rose 10 points. Amazing. Could it be that the cable news dummies don't really understand the country they pretend to report on? Could it be that Hispanic Americans are pretty much like every other American, normal people who love their country and know that illegal immigration hurts all of us? It looks that way. That's bad news for Democrats who are betting that a campaign of hysteria and race baiting would move voters to the polls on their behalf in November. It hasn't worked. Will the left figure out that it hasn't worked? Maybe, but maybe not. They've grown so confident that Trump is finished, over, done, that they're no longer hiding what they really think. They pulled off the mask and they're telling you directly. Calls to halt family separation turned almost immediately into demands to end deportation itself, to abolish ICE, abolish profit, abolish prisons. The left believes that voters are so angry at Trump that they want to abolish the country that elected him and replace it with an entirely new country where borders and business, where the law itself all no longer exist. They're betting that most voters hate Trump so much that they've come to hate America too. That's their gamble. As of tonight, it is not paying off. Lily Gilvletta is CEO and co-founder of CN Plus, and she joins us tonight. Lily, thank you for coming on tonight.
Thank you, Tucker.
So this strikes me as an amazing number, that after this last month that we've had, where people on MSNBC and CNN were literally comparing Trump to Adolf Hitler himself repeatedly because of his immigration policy, his number goes up 10 points among Hispanic voters. How do you explain that?
Well, what I love about data is that it removes the bias that comes with opinion. I don't care if you're on the right or on the left. Data removes the emotion of people having just an assumption about our community. And I've said it over and over again here in this network and many others. We are not a single-minded community or a single-issue community, and we do care about jobs and the economy as the top priority as Hispanic Americans. And over again, data shows it from Pew Hispanic, or the data that you're showing, or our own data. I'm running big data analytics almost every month on the state and the voice of the people in this nation, and we keep seeing the same trend over and over again. So we can continue to hit the immigration piñata, as I like to call it, as an issue, but it's not the one that is really driving the priority of Hispanic Americans who are business owners, are working hard for the American dream, and ultimately moved by jobs and the economy.
What do you make of the assumption, and I think it's shared by pretty much every cable news anchor on the other channels, by most Democratic politicians, that if you have a Hispanic last name, you are for illegal immigration? That strikes me as a pretty patronizing, at best, a patronizing assumption.
It definitely is a patronizing assumption because, yes, while many of us who happen to be Hispanics or Americans in general may know somebody that is caught in the middle of a broken immigration system, more than 60% of Hispanic Americans are actually U.S. born. And that is a fact that many people just overlook. So we want to work hard and do things the right way. One of the fastest growing segments of small business owners happen to be Hispanics. And we just need to, again, go back to the core of the priority issues and not continue to feed the rhetoric of one single issue that, yes, needs fixing, but is not the top one. And once again, we're going to see it for the next round of elections. If this continues to be the message or trying to be the thing that gets rattled around, it will not work. And that is why President Trump has had the positive affinity that he's getting. And that's not my opinion. That's what the data shows.
Well, it is, though, I mean, I can't say this enough. It's the opposite of what I think every person I know in Washington would have predicted a month ago, that after all this drama, we've had the single most intense month politically I've ever seen in a life lived in Washington, that he would be more popular among Hispanic voters. Can you just focus on that point? What do you, to the extent we know, what do you think that's about?
So we actually run some data as recent as a few hours before this show, Tucker, where we looked at 200,000 data points. This is with Culture Intel, our big data analytics platform. And we looked at the voice of 200,000 Hispanic Americans in the U.S. And again, jobs and the economy is what driving the positive affinity towards President Trump. Immigration ranks as issue number 5. So there is a lot of noise around that, and people that care about that issue feel like that is the only issue. However, we are not a single-minded issue voter bloc or community. So again, it's diminishing the sophistication of this audience and the fact that we do care about growth, prosperity, and achieving that American dream, which people like me, I'm an immigrant myself, come here to work so hard for, and that is ultimately what we want to achieve, not just for us, but for all Americans.
And assumptions to the contrary diminish the people about whom they're made. You're absolutely right there. Lily, thank you for that. Super interesting.
Thank you, Tucker.